I get a lot of questions and comments on the channel, some of which I'm qualified to answer, some of which I'm clearly not. Some of the comments are great. Some of them are about how stupid my yellow helmet is. I don't know. What are you going to do? Anyway, I get an email from Bill in Tennessee asking the following question. My local dealer has a new 2025 Triumph Tiger 900 in stock, so I thought I'd swing by on my lunch break and take a look. I really liked it and was considering trading for it. I was on my way out and asked the sales guy if he could have any bike in the shop, what would it be? He said the Bonneville T120. I was caught off guard a little and wasn't familiar with that motorcycle. He said, "Here it is, what do you think?" The moment I laid my eyes on that motorcycle, an emotion stirred. Shiny, black, looking beautiful. I sat on it and it felt right. And I love the looks and vintage styling. I haven't done anything just yet, still considering it. I know you're a T120 fan, so I thought I'd reach out, say hi, and get your thoughts. Well, let's go for a ride on my Triumph Scrambler 900 and talk about it.
So if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you know that I did own a T120. It was the first bike I had when I got back into motorcycling. I bought it about a year ago and had it for a few months and I loved it. There was something about it. I can't really describe what it was. That it wasn't exactly my bike. I thought it was when I first got it. I was absolutely in love with it. And hell, if I had it right now, I'd still be in love with it probably. But when I found my Scrambler 900, the first time I saw it, I absolutely fell in love with it, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And I think that's an important thing to consider when you're looking to buy a motorcycle. That initial reaction you get when you first see it. I own two motorcycles. I own this Scrambler, and I own a Tiger 900 Rally Pro from Triumph. Both bikes are fantastic in different ways. But I only absolutely love and adore one of them, and that's the one I'm on today. There's an emotional bond we form with our bikes. It's something that's really hard to describe. But when I lay in bed at night thinking about riding the next day, I'm almost always more excited to ride my Scrambler than I am my Tiger. Now, I love the Tiger. The Tiger does things that this bike just can't. For one, it's a much better bike in the winter. The way it moves air around your body, the fact that it has heated seats and a big windscreen and everything, just makes riding in the winter so much more enjoyable. Those are all practical considerations. There's something much more to motorcycles than just the practical, right? And so even though it's cold today, and in fact it's so cold there's probably some icy spots on this road, so I gotta take it easy. Even though it's cold, and I would have been probably more physically comfortable on my Tiger, I chose the Scrambler because it just does something to my brain. It wakes me up. Makes me feel more alive. It makes me happy. The Tiger makes me happy because it gets me to more places. Because it's something that I know I can ride across the country in comfort and not get to where I'm going at the end of each day feeling like, I don't know, my back hurts and my hands hurt and I'm cold. That's what the Tiger's all about. I'm making a comparison between the Scrambler and the T120 because I think the two bikes are a lot alike. They're both retro classics, I guess. They both don't have any sort of protection against the wind. You look at them and you think, wow, that's a really nice looking bike. I would love to own that. I would love to ride that. So if you're looking to find the differences between the Tiger and the T120, because you're going to buy one or the other, I would think about it this way. The Tiger's probably a better bike, to be honest. It's just going to get you to more places. I'm not sure whether we're looking at the Rally Pro or the regular GT Pro or whatever it's called. Either bike is going to be a little bit more versatile than the T120. But let's be honest, we're not really buying motorcycles for the sheer sake of them being versatile. We're buying them because they become part of our soul. These Triumph Retro Classics, or whatever you call them, whatever style they are, the Scrambler, the T120, the T100, all of those, there's just something about them that you can't quantify with horsepower and torque. It's not something you can look at and say, the Tiger's going to get me to more places, and stuff like that. Whereas the T120 might be a little bit more limited in what you can do, but it's, at the end of the day, it's really not. I mean, I took my T120 on gravel and mountain roads and stuff like that, and, you know, it wasn't the best. It wasn't even close to being the best. But it did it. And if you're going to do it, and if you're only going to spend 5% of your life on gravel and stuff like that, it's not worth worrying about anyway. What it comes right down to is, what's the bike that you look at that you immediately feel alive without even riding it? For some people, that's going to be a Tiger. For some people, that's going to be a T120. For some people like me, it's this Scrambler 900. At this point in my life, I wouldn't want to own any other bike aside from this and my Tiger. If I had to pick one, it would be a really hard choice. I've talked about this in past videos, and I don't even remember what I said because my mind changes all the time. But if I had to pick one bike, I really honestly think I would pick this one, because this is the bike that I absolutely just love. I mean, how could you not love this bike? It's just beautiful. Listen to it. This is with British Custom /cut pipes on it, but I lay in bed at night thinking about that sound. That's how much I love this bike. I love this bike so much I'll stop in the middle of a road to shoot video of it. I don't know. Anyway, Bill, I don't know if this is the best advice in the world, but here's my advice. If you looked at that T120 and your first thought was, my goodness, I would love to get that out onto an open road in the middle of the summer, listen to those pipes, screw down the road, and not care about anything else in the world, then that's the bike for you. If you look at the Tiger and you say to yourself, all I want to do is crush miles, I want to go places, I want to travel the country, and I want to do it in comfort, then maybe the Tiger's for you. But honestly, I've been in your position many, many times, and I've made the mistake of doing the practical thing and not following my heart. And it's usually led to me trading whatever it was in for the thing that I really wanted. Because your heart's not going to stop nagging you. It's going to tell you, you should have got the T120. You should have got the T120. Every time you see one, you're going to be like, oh man, I almost bought one of those, but I didn't. So if it's not obvious by now, Bill, my advice, go get that T120. The thing is, if you don't like the T120, they don't lose a whole lot of value. So you get it, you ride it for a year, maybe it's not your thing, maybe you really wanted that Tiger, go trade it in. Because here's the other thing, we're not talking about buying a house here, we're not talking about picking a mate, we're talking about motorcycles. You can change your mind, and it's perfectly fine. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't. let me just tell you a little bit about my journey in the past year. I had a Vespa. Then I got the T120. I traded the T120 in for the Scrambler. Then I traded the Vespa because I wasn't riding the Vespa and I just kind of fell out of love with it. I traded that in. I got the Tiger. Now I have the Scrambler and the Tiger, and I sort of have the best of both worlds. Now I understand that I'm coming from a position of a bit of privilege here, that I'm able to afford both bikes. But my point is, don't settle. You can always change your mind. There's always a way to fix a decision that maybe wasn't the best decision, right? So go get the T120, ride it. You're absolutely going to fall in love with it. And if you decide that that was the wrong choice and you wanted the Tiger, I'm sure your dealership would be happy to take the T120 back and sell you a Tiger with all of the markups and extra fees and all of that bullshit. But you get my point. Anyway, I hope this helped. If you like this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel, hitting the like button, and doing all that fun stuff that the people do on videos. And I'll catch you on the next one. And my yellow helmet is not stupid. I don't care what you say, guy who commented.